This is a place.
This is the place?
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place.
Thank you for listening to This is a Place podcast. My name is Brandon, and I'm joined by a man who spends most of our conversations yelling at me for never seeing any movies he likes. Nate.
Not just any movie I like, but just movies you have to have seen to belong to society. Like, how do you like watch TV shows and movies and they reference these movies and you have no idea what they're talking about? It's basically what you're telling me.
I have Google, so I can figure it out.
Like,
Pretend.
Like, I was in a good mood, happy mood, and now you just ticked me off before we started recording this episode. Why did I tick you off?
Why did I tick you off, Nate?
Because you've never seen these iconic movies. It drives me bonkers.
We have talked at length on the podcast, not just in our half-hour prep, about what movies I have not seen that you deem quote-unquote classic movies.
Well, let's take a vote. If anybody, not a vote, I need
Who's
somebody
voting?
out there who's at least, we'll say what, 25 years or older. If you're 25 years or older and you've never seen A League of Their Own, please let us know. Because I'm going to guess Brandon is the only one.
Matt doesn't count either, because
You're saying Matt
he's always
hasn't
on your
seen
side.
it?
What?
You said Matt hasn't seen it either?
Well, I don't know if Matt's seen it. I'm putting it out there already
Yeah.
that he doesn't count, because he's already seen everything like you have.
Right. Because Matt is with the times. He wants to be able to relate to people out in public.
Really?
And
I guess if I need
understand
to
what
relate
people
to
are
you, I should see more of these movies.
All right.
That's why we
But
have so
then-
many problems.
But then again, I've never seen Harry Potter, but that's by choice.
That's a dumb choice, but...
And I might have to...
You've never seen Gone with the Wind, which is, as we were looking at the list, has the number one quote
Thinking
of all
about
time.
it, though, I think we did watch it in choir or something
That movie
like that.
is 5 hours long.
Yeah.
So, you'd remember if you've seen it.
In that or Humanities. I can't remember. So I remember, like, I can't say I've seen it because I'm sure I didn't pay attention to it, but I know parts of it. And even then, everybody knows all the famous quotes from it.
Well, I'm sorry I've never seen League of Their Own. I'm sorry I've never seen Karate Kid.
You never seen the original Karate Kid?
We've been through this before.
I thought you just watched it.
No. I've only
Oh,
watched Cobra Kai. That's all you
ouch.
need.
Ouch. Somebody today during, pickleball, of course, said no mercy. And I'm like, no, you do not get to say that. That's mine. That's my thing. But Cobra Kai new season comes out September 9th. Did you know that?
I did know that. I'm excited. It looks great.
It's crazy. Two seasons within a 1 year period. But let's go back to the movies you haven't seen.
No.
No?
You're always getting mad at me for movies I haven't seen, so I want to flip the script.
All right, flip the script.
We're going to go through, I'm just going to look through the list of top 100 movies over the years, and I'm curious which ones you've seen.
100 most important movies to see, not the 100. We don't want that. We don't want the artsy, the movies that people think. Like, I remember Humanities 101. Like, we would get extra credit to watch some of these artsy movies. Painful. I'm a huge Neil Diamond fan. I love Neil Diamond. But I can remember trying to watch The Jazz Singer. And I watched it for extra credit, and it was miserable for me.
Is that
to
on the
watch.
list?
What's that?
Is that on the list of artsy?
It might be. I think it is on the list of top 100. Well, it was back in 1997. But
I'm looking at this list. I don't see any... They're all pretty old movies. Okay, I'm going to just go off the ones I've seen.
and
Have you
see if
seen
I
Citizen
have-
Kane?
I don't think I've seen it.
And that's the number one. I tried to watch it. I wasn't in the mood. I wasn't in the headspace to watch it.
Okay.
Casablanca, number 2.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure we watched that in one of the school classes, and it took like a whole week to watch it, and I don't remember much. I just remember, isn't that the end scene where she's getting on an airplane or something like that?
Right.
Yeah.
Then we got Godfather, number 3.
I just barely watched, not barely, it was like 8 years ago, we watched The Godfathers for the first time. So here's the problem, too, with some of the classic movies. I didn't really watch rated R movies till about 15 years ago. So there's a lot of... So my brother-in-law gave me like a list of like 80s movies that were rated R for me, you know, classic ones I had to
When you
watch.
started being a sinner?
Yeah, when I started sinning. Started drinking caffeinated drinks. Which is funny, I don't drink soda anymore, so it's hard to get my caffeine. But moving on, keep going.
You already mentioned Gone with the Wind. You have to have seen Wizard of Oz, right?
Yeah, that one, my dad loves that movie, and I might have to go back and rewatch it now as an adult, but as a kid, it was just not fun to watch.
Really?
I don't think so.
I like it as a kid.
That one, Alice in Wonderland, can't stand it.
The cartoon?
Yeah. Like I said, Wizard of Oz might be better now as an adult, but do you ever notice that too? Some shows that you watched as a kid are totally different as an adult. Like, I think I love the movie Princess Bride, and we've made our kids fall in love with it as well, so they've been watching it a lot this last year.
I've never seen that. Just kidding. I've seen Princess Bride.
Oh
Just
my
kidding.
gosh.
Just kidding. We were about to have a freak out.
So lucky that we're doing this via
eyes.
Zoom.
I saw your eyes. They were glowing. And I was like, okay.
Did you see the devil eyes that I get?
You had the crazy eyes.
Have I ever told you about my devil eyes?
No.
So I have transitioning lenses. So like out in the sun, they will get dark, and then I look like, if you ever seen Supernatural.
Supernatural, I was going to say.
I turn into a demon, and people are like, "What's going on with you?" And I'm like, "I'm just really mad right now." But you almost saw my devil eyes.
Yeah.
Anyways, going back to Princess Bride, to me as a kid, that was like an action movie. And it wasn't until I think I was in high school and rewatched it, and I'm like, "Oh, this is a comedy." And like every time I watched it, I watched it quite often in high school. It was like one of those movies I'd put on to go to sleep. I would catch like a different pun. Like you just understand it more and more as you get older. I'm like, I had no idea this was a comedy as a kid. It was just all action. It came out when I was 7 years old. So what do you expect?
It's a good one. Okay, how about The Graduate?
Yeah, I've seen it a few times.
Okay.
I think that was one of those too, the extra credit for humanities if we watch that one. That one's not bad, but it's kind of slow.
Have you seen Singing in the Rain?
Mm-hmm.
It's a Wonderful Life?
Choir. I've seen It's a Wonderful Life, but you love that movie, right?
Love it, yeah.
But I haven't seen it probably since I was a young teen, so I don't remember much about it. And I tried to rewatch it last Christmas because of you, and I think I only got like 20 minutes into it.
Blasphemy. You know, I'm looking through this list. I've seen quite a few on here. You've seen To Kill a Mockingbird, right?
Long time ago, yeah.
Yeah. The top 100 list, the newest movie I'm seeing is 1994, Pulp Fiction.
I haven't seen that one. That's a Tarantino movie, right?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's probably the newest. Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. Did you know, who was it? I think John Travolta got asked to be Forrest Gump, and he said no. And then all the studios said it was going to bomb. It wasn't going to do anything.
It's on the top 100 list.
That one's a good movie, but it's super long. It's like one I don't like. I haven't watched it since it first came out. But that's a quotable movie. Gen A. That was quoted all the time in high school.
So I'm curious. You were saying you would have a very different top 100 or top 10 list.
100%.
I could probably guess your top 10.
Okay, go. See if you can even get 5.
I can get 5.
That's
I
true.
guarantee
That's true.
I can
I've
get
talked
5.
about them all the time, so it's got to be.
Can I get them in order, or can I get the first
I
10?
don't know if there is a certain order.
I'm gonna say Rocky.
Yeah, but does that count as one movie, or does that count as like there's like 7 of them now? 8?
Let's say 1, because that would dominate
It counts as
7
one.
of your
Yes.
10.
The Rocky franchise.
Does that include Creed?
Yes, to me it does. Except for the next Creed movie is not going to have Rocky in it.
Hmm.
Comes out, I think, next March. Anyways.
Got to throw Karate Kid on there.
Yeah, franchise. Except for the next Karate Kid. That one still ticks me off to this day. Ticks me off.
The only one I've seen, sorry.
And then the Cobra Kai series kind of, what do you call it, redeemed it. But it would be fun to see what's her name come back into the franchise somehow. Hilary Is that from The Office?
Is she hot or is she not?
No, when Dwight's taking karate, he's like, he's the Karate Kid. Yeah, the Hilary Swank version. Or something like that.
I'm thinking Back to the Future's on there.
Back to Futures are on there. That was in my rotation. So going back to high school, so I had the TV VCR combo in my room, and my shelf had about 15 VHS movies that I would rotate through every day and watch. So I basically watched 15 movies over and over again through my high school careers. So I know there's some movies I'd add to it since then, but you're kind of going down that path of like my all times. So far, I had all the Rockies, had all the Karate Kids, except for the Hilary Swank one. I did not have that one because it wasn't I would not put that in on purpose. Is that as far as we got so far?
Yeah. Nacho Libre. Would that be in your top 10?
Probably would be now. Just talking about the other day. Would you rather watch, if I said you can watch either Napoleon or Nacho, which one would you watch?
Napoleon for me.
Really? Nacho for me now. It's changed.
Now I'm thinking Princess Bride would be on there.
I was going to say, we just talked about, that was in my collection of like 15 movies.
The others, I think it's a toss-up. I'm not really sure where to go with it.
Another one is another series. There was only 3 back in the 90s, but there's been some remakes of it, and there's another remake being done right now.
Remakes done of it, huh?
There was a cartoon remake, and then 2 live action, 1 and 2, and then somebody else is going to restart it again.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yes, that was in my collection, yeah.
Okay.
Especially number 1 and a little bit of number 2. 3 was again pretty bad.
I mean, that's not quite 10, but that's
good, yeah.
Solid Nate list. Any idea?
Well, you had the 5 Rockies, like you said. There's 5. There's 3 Karate Kids, 8. There's 3 Back to the Futures, 11.
It's turned into a 20
Princess
list.
Bride.
Top 20, just with.
And then you're missing one very, very important one.
Oof.
It's very relevant today too.
Very relevant today.
Very relevant today.
Gonna go with Top Gun.
Top Gun was in that mix too.
Yeah, that's a pretty good list. I've seen the first Rocky. I've seen the Creed movies. Back to the Future, I've seen all of those. I've still seen your core movies.
That's true. Well, you're missing, before year 2000, you're missing 2 sports movies.
Hoosiers, for sure.
Hoosiers. And
so that would be in your top 10?
It was part of my 15 that I watched.
And another sports movie?
There's
League
one
of Their
more
Own?
sports movie. Huh?
League of Their Own?
No. But
not
one...
top. You've seen it a lot, but not...
I've seen it a lot. League of Their Own is one of those movies that if it's on, I can't stop watching it.
Okay.
I just keep going with it.
So another sports movie that I'm missing. Remember the Titans?
That wasn't out yet. That came out.
You're saying before?
Before year 2000. I'm talking about the original 15 I had in my collection, or whatever, 15-ish movies.
Rudy. Oh my gosh, it's Rudy, of course.
Rudy, yeah. Rudy was the other one.
And I've seen that one. So you
There
give
you
me
go.
a lot of... all these fringe movies that I haven't seen.
Yeah. Have you seen the Mighty Duck movies?
It was a long time ago, but I have.
Okay, phew. That one made me a little nervous for you too.
It's just once in a while it comes up that there's a movie you're quoting or talking about how great it is, and I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Like today
That's
with
why-
League of Their Own.
But I feel like our third co-host, Matt, gets my references.
He
and you
does.
don't.
That's why I said he's not included.
Yeah, it's not included.
Yeah,
And you're the same age. You're the same age, so it doesn't make me feel bad.
And he has older siblings, so, it's just...
Okay. We'll give you a small pass.
Probably not that good a one, but any ideas what kind of movies would be in my top 10
Mm-hmm.
or even top 5?
Yep. It'd be Little Mermaid, Frozen.
That's a good movie, okay?
A lot of yours are going to be Disney, so you're going to have a lot of Marvel.
You think so? I don't agree.
You don't agree?
Mm-mm.
What's a movie?
You did mention one today, which I think would be my number one. Unequivocally, my number one movie.
Nacho Libre? Napoleon Dynamite?
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life? That's your number one?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's one.
Can you watch that year round?
Okay. That's not fair. I guess it's not one I would watch year round, but
because there is one Christmas movie I can watch year round. Christmas Vacation I can watch year round.
Really?
Yeah.
See, a lot of my top movies, what I'd say is favorites, fall into some kind of a holiday. It'd be either Christmas or Halloween movie. And I don't revisit a lot of movies. I think one of my favorites that I could rewatch again and again is Big Fish. Have you seen that one?
Is that with Obi-Wan?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it, but I don't remember.
It's a Tim Burton. Don't have a ton that I rewatch unless it's a holiday movie.
Elf?
Yeah, but again, it's a holiday movie.
Holiday movie.
Been thinking top. I mean, I like Napoleon Dynamite. I don't know if I'd necessarily put it in a top 10 spot.
Well, today, I wonder if you'll get this quote. After we were done playing, some people came after our little King's Court thing that we talked with Matt and Selma about a few months ago. After that was done, we were just playing pickup games, and a girl came over to play, and we were just joking around and saying, no girls allowed. And I said, yeah, we're part of the He-Man Woman Hater Club. Did you get that quote? Nobody got it.
Little Rascals, man.
Okay, thank you. I'm like, Little Rascals, anybody? And they're all older, and I'm like, never mind. So maybe you're not the only one, but that doesn't get my 80s and 90s movie quotes.
I've seen a lot of 80s and 90s movies, just not all of them. Ooh, another good one I thought of? Better Off Dead. I love that movie.
Yeah,
that's a rewatch.
Yesterday, I quoted that yesterday. Said, "Where's my $2?"
That's a good movie.
And it has Orange Bang in it. So.
Oh, well, we've gone on quite a bit of a movie tangent. I think we should just keep talking about movies.
We should, because our topic for today is a movie theater, and it's kind of like, I would call it. I'm pretty sure it's the first movie theater I've been to. The Starship Theaters in Sandy, Utah, in the Sandy Mall.
So it's still there, right?
No.
It's not still at the Sandy Mall?
The Sandy Mall's still there, but Starships, they ended in...
So, hold on. What's the Sandy Mall?
Sandy Mall is a mall in Sandy.
I don't... there's the big malls.
Right. It's, what's the term for it? Strip mall, where it's outdoors.
Oh, okay.
You've got, man, there's been so many things to come and go from Sandy Mall. I want to say at one time they had Showbiz Pizza. Did you ever go to Showbiz Pizza?
Mm-mm.
Was it? We got to figure that out. I don't know if, I think it was like a break off from Chuck E. Cheese. Same concept.
Well, the guy who started Chuck E. Cheese was either from Utah or was at least a member of the church. So there's some kind of connection there.
We'll have to do an episode to figure that out. But yeah, there's been a lot of stuff to come and go from the Sandy Mall. But the staple there for 20 years was the Starship Theaters. They opened up in December of 1980. That was a good year because that's the year I was born. And it just had 4 screens in the strip mall of Sandy, Utah.
Where is this strip mall?
It's on 9400 South and 700 East. Do you know where Sandy's movie 9 is?
I think so.
So, like, it was almost like the back part. What would that be? Northwest of Sandy's Movies 9 is where Starship was. So you could walk out the Starship Theater doors, hang a right, go south, and you'd be at the front ticket booth for Sandy's 9.
I'm just trying to figure out where it's at to see it in my head.
What else is over there? There used to be like a Payless shoe store. Oh, Ski and See? Do you know where Ski and See
so it's
is?
by the... Okay, it's pretty close to the cemetery.
Yeah, well, you know where the DI in Sandy is?
Yeah.
It's like just across the street. There used to be like a taco time over there. There's a Dollar Tree.
Yeah. Is it pretty close to... Isn't there Ran Life? Is it right over there?
Yeah, the old Lifestyle 2000. We need to do an episode on that, Lifestyles 2000. Maybe go visit Ran Life. It's hard. I used to go to Ran Life quite a bit because I had a lot of friends over there, and it's hard to think like this is where I used to work out. This is where I used to run on the treadmill.
I interviewed at Ran Life one time.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, so as you were saying about the Starship, sorry to get you off track.
Anyways, so 4 screens. We talked about that, and they're kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Their design was like a spaceship, and they even had like a robot as their mascot. And believe it or not, one of the screens was equipped for Dolby Stereo surround sound.
Whoa.
And in the 1990s, another one was equipped with DTS. They also had, just so you know, the Starship had another 2-screen theater called Olympus Starships, which I think was up off of Wasatch Boulevard, if I remember right.
Makes sense, yeah.
And
that's a cool logo they have. I like it with the kind of looks like Star Wars.
It's very 80s, right?
It's almost Star Wars mid-scroll is the look of it.
Right. Yeah, it's very like late 70s, early 80s. It makes sense. But they started out as a second-run theater, and in the early 90s, Cinemark built a 7-screen theater next door to the Sandy Starship, like literally next door. And then they expanded eventually to 9 screens. Then after that, Megaplex at Jordan Commons opened up a few years later. And then Cinemark Movies 9 became a dollar theater. And then Sandy Starship switched from second run to dollar status. And I think that's really kind of probably why they went downhill, is because you had a dollar theater next door. They couldn't be the second run theater anymore. They were like the second run type theater for a minute. And I want to say towards the latter part of their existence that it was like 50 cents a movie to go to Starship. It was really cheap. But a note taped to the inside of the entrance doors said, "Thank you for 20 years." And that was on December 1st, 1980. So basically when their lease expired, their 20-year lease expired, they said, "We're done." And they ended.
See, I got excited for a minute because I was thinking this was the same. I've been to it was a dollar theater over there. Have you been to the Chinhua before?
Chinhua.
It's a Chinese restaurant.
Sounds familiar.
It's right over there. It's on 849 East and 9400 South. Anyway, I don't think it's there anymore, but there was a movie theater right there. So that's what I thought Starship was, but...
No, I just remember Starship, saw a lot of classic 80s movies and even 90s movies there. And
Wait, when did it close, you said?
December 1st, 2000.
Oh, 2000. I'm sorry. I thought you said...
Yeah, so they're for 20 years. They had a 20-year lease is what everything I could find. And so once it was up, they're just like, we tap out, we're done. But I remember seeing one of my favorite movies of all time there, Karate Kid. And I remember like they used to do, like a lot of theaters still do, like these summer movies where they'll show an older movie or not, something that's already on video. Or now we call it on demand. And I remember Mom, I didn't want to go. And she's like, "They're playing one of your favorite movies." I'm like, "What is it? Karate Kid." I'm like, "Let's go." So excited. And whenever I drink like Hawaiian fruit punch, it takes me back to Starship Theaters because that's what we always get to drink when we went to Starship. They would have these little kid packs you could get with a little treat and small popcorn and a drink.
So it's different than the Movies 9, right?
Yeah. So Movies 9 is literally next door. Like,
yeah, I think that's the one I've been to. I don't think I went to Starship.
Everyone's been to Movies 9. Like I said, once they built Movies 9, I think it started, like I said, Movies 7. It was 7 theaters, and they added 2 more on. to make it Movies 9, but like Starship worked really well with Movies 9 because Movies 9 was a first run theater, but when the Megaplex went in, that's kind of when Starship started going downhill because Cinemark had to change from first run to dollar theater. And then Starship just couldn't compete with Movies 9, and that's my guess. But Movies 9 was fun. That's another place we could also talk about, but that was a fun dollar theater, and I remember Wednesdays for a long time it was only 50 cents. Kind of a fun place to go.
I mean, I can understand why you'd have so much fondness for the movie theater since you saw so many core movies there.
Remember seeing Crocodile Dundee. Have you seen that one?
I have seen Crocodile Dundee.
Okay, I'm surprised you've seen that one. But not A League of Their Own.
I try. Is this the movie theater where you saw Titanic?
I saw it at Movies 9,
Movie
not
9.
Starship.
Because that one's come up before.
That one has come up. Yeah, the Arctic Circle was just across the street off of 7th. It's not there no more. But yeah, movies. And I don't think we've mentioned this yet, but we've talked to all of our local theaters here in Utah. We got Megaplex, Regal,
Cinemark,
AMC, and Cinemark. Mm-hmm. That if you go to any of those theaters on Saturday, September 3rd, and mention This Is a Place podcast, they will give you a movie ticket for $3. Except that you don't have to
mention the podcast, though. Otherwise, they probably won't give you the deal.
Yeah, probably won't. It's not a nationwide deal.
Has no correlation with National Cinema Day or whatever they've come up with.
We just reached out to all of them and saying, hey, this week we're talking about movies and the old Starship Theaters, and as a tribute to Starship, if you could go back to their movie prices back in the 80s. And they said, okay, we'll do it for one day only. The
drink and popcorn price is going to be the same?
If I remember, I think a few of the theaters are doing a couple of deals. I think Cinemark is doing like a cheaper popcorn, but you'll have to look up by location. All we could negotiate for sure was a $3 movie ticket price. So
yeah,
it can only be so much people. It's going to be a busy day at the theater, even though it's, it is. Well, last Saturday was kickoff to college football, but
it is Labor Day weekend.
It is Labor Day weekend. You got BYU and Utah playing this weekend, so it might be a little hard to get away. But after the game, before the game, head over to the theater, watch a movie.
On us.
And if you haven't seen Maverick yet, even though it is streaming on demand, dude, you have to see Maverick in theaters, though. You'll regret saying I didn't see it in theaters if you don't. Just one of those movies you have to see in theaters.
I haven't seen a movie in theaters since December, so it has been, from what I've heard, a good movie season.
Yes.
Lots of good movies have come out this summer.
It's been pretty good. Like I mentioned, Maverick has been killing it at the box office this summer, which is crazy because it was supposed to come out 2 years ago. So you wonder how well it would have done 2 years ago during COVID compared to today. So it's probably a wise decision. Maverick was good. Thor was pretty good. You saw Thor, didn't you? I thought you did.
No, I have. Okay. I'm at the point where I wait till they come to streaming just because it's hard to.
Right. Well, you're at that
theater.
Not age, but your kids are at that age where it's a hassle, right, to go to the movies because you got to find somebody to watch the kids. You got to be away long. And sometimes when you have somebody to watch the kids, you don't want to go to a movie. You want to just take a nap or something. But yeah, for a good 5 to 6 years after having kids, we would maybe go to one movie a year. And now we go to one movie a week. But that also has to do because of the Regal Pass. And another thing, have you heard this?
Yeah.
Have you heard it?
Movie Pass coming back.
Yeah, the wait list started, I think, last Friday to get on Movie Pass. So I'm curious to see how that works. But
you jump on board?
No, we got the Regal Pass. Okay, check this. We took the kids last Tuesday to Super Pets. And granted, I have the pass, my wife has it, and then my oldest son has the Movie Pass. But we took all of us, all 5 of us, to see Super Pets. So granted, we've already paid for limited, but on our Regal rewards, each one of us had a free movie ticket. So my other 2 kids were free. Each one of us had a free nacho. Each one of us had a free hot dog. And then we had a free medium popcorn, which we upgraded to a large for $1. Wow. So outside of our Regal membership pass, it cost us $1 to go see a movie, have 3 hot dogs, 3 nachos, large popcorn for $1. Like, Regal does crazy rewards, which always makes me nervous, because anytime any store or movie theater for that matter start doing crazy deals, it usually means they're in financial trouble. And Nate will take them down.
He will.
Single-handedly. So, makes me a little nervous, but if you're not... Regal's great. It's on 54th and Redwood, and they're newer theaters. They have the cool reclining seats and all that stuff, but... and I think the movie pass for them, the unlimited pass, is only $20. And I'm pretty sure AMC has something similar to that. Cinemark has a movie pass, but I think you get 1 ticket a month. It's weird. I don't think Megaplex, as far as I know, has anything for that. But the one thing that drives me nuts about Megaplex is that you have to pay an upgrade to have the reclining seats. Have you noticed that? You've gone there, but that's one thing that drives me a little bonkers about there. But we loved Regal. It's really close to our house, so it's convenient.
I'll give you guys a hack. I don't know if you knew this, but did you know you can go to the dollar store beforehand, the gas station, and you just sneak in your snacks, so you get them for way cheaper than what they would cost at the movie theater. You can probably get a full bag of popcorn popped and then take it in the movie theater.
Absolutely. I've seen like one of those questionnaires or articles saying that they know you're sneaking stuff in. They just don't care. Just don't make it obvious that you're doing it.
So can't take a full pizza in there?
We have a bag, a Denver Bronco bag that we got like in Mexico. It's a pretty big like beach bag, you know, and that's what we take in. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but we take it in with a blanket because, you know, you get cold. And it may or may not have some candy in there sometimes. One time some kid's like, oh, can I see in your bag? And I'm like, huh? And the thing is, because I was carrying it. So the secret is I can't carry it in because then it looks suspicious. If my wife's carrying it, they're not going to ask to see her bag. So she always has to carry it in, even though it weighs like 400 pounds going in and then 2 pounds coming out.
Got your milk duds.
Well, it's even crazier when we take all the kids because they all have their treat and their drink. Then we get the large popcorn or whatever there. But yeah, I've never had anybody really care yet. What I want to try to see if I can do is if I can go over to Subway or Cafe Rio and sneak in like a whole meal.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, here's what we should do. I think our next attempt at a movie, I want to see Halloween in the theater.
Yes.
And I know that one's going straight to streaming the day it comes out.
Really?
But
I'll see it in theaters anyways.
Yeah, that's a good one for the theaters.
And they're called Halloween Ends? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, but it's never going to end.
It's never going to end. He won't die.
He won't die.
He should have been dead in the first
Spoiler,
one.
He doesn't die.
He should have been dead in the first one, that's for sure.
Well, Nate, thanks for all the legwork you did, getting those sponsorships for this weekend. Everybody,
you guys are welcome.
Enjoy the movies on us.
Yeah, let us know what movies you saw this weekend.
Let us know your favorite movies, and let us know
favorite movie this summer.
What movies I'm missing out on, because apparently there's a lot of them.
Yeah, and then let's see if we can find one person who hasn't seen A League of Their Own, so they can be in Brandon's club.
I'm gonna go watch it. Okay.
It took me 2 years to get you watch Hoosiers, so
maybe I'll watch Karate Kid ahead of.
I will watch every time you watch a movie that I suggest. I'll watch one of the Harry Potters.
Deal. Let's start this.
Okay.
Thanks for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
See you next week.